I know, Mr. Penguin, I know.
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. My name's Isaac, and this is my best friend, Mr. Penguin. What's your name? That's a lovely name. Me, Mr. Penguin, and all of my friends decided to come out today to read a story. Would you like to join us? Okay, then let's begin. Today we'll be reading Bad, Bad Bunny Trouble. Ralph was a bunny who loved soccer more than anything else in the whole world. He could play soccer all day long. He never wanted to stop. Never ever, Mr. Penguin. Ralph, come inside now, his mother called. You have to get dressed for your sister's party. Rats, said Ralph. It was the last thing he wanted to do. Look how dirty you are, scolded his mother. I know. Quick, go upstairs and change. The guests will be here any minute. Ralph saw that his mother was putting the candles on the birthday cake for Lisa. She had also bought coffee cake. Ralph wondered how it tasted. What do you think it tasted like, Mr. Penguin? That sounds delicious. Ralph was still angry at having to leave his soccer game. This party would be more fun if we could just play soccer instead of singing stupid songs. He grumbled. We'll probably play stupid musical chairs or pin the stupid tail on the stupid donkey. That wasn't very nice now, was it, Mr. Penguin? No, I don't think so either. Ralph took his time getting ready. He was the last one to join the party. Everyone sang happy birthday. Ralph's mother was ready to cut the cakes. Ralph said, I want a piece of coffee cake. No, you can't have the coffee cake, said his mother. I would have wanted the coffee cake as well, Mr. Penguin, but he can't have any. It's time for the grown-ups. The birthday cake is for the children. But I don't want birthday cake. I want coffee cake. Ralph cried and stomped his feet. No, his mother said again. Ralph was so angry he could not control himself. He did something awfully horrible. If I can't have it, then no one can, he said. And he spat on the cake. It's terrible, Mr. Penguin, I know. That did it. Now Ralph was in bad, bad trouble. That's a lot of trouble, Mr. Penguin. How could you, his mother gasped. Up to the attic this instant. I'll deal with you later. Ralph's cheeks were burning as he stomped up to the attic, but he didn't really mind. The attic was the workshop where the rabbits decorated Easter eggs. It was a nice big room, just perfect for working on his fancy footwork. Suddenly, Ralph heard a horrifying scream outside, and from the distance came a terrifying chant. Tasty bunnies, hop, 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 are delicious in the pot. Simmered, boiled, or as a stew. Watch out, here we come for you. I know, isn't that terrifying? Look how scared Mr. Teddy is. Looking out of the window, Ralph saw 3 large, savage foxes. Now everyone was in bad, bad trouble. Downstairs, there was a great trembling and crying. The rabbits locked the windows and bolted the doors. Then they all went down into the cellar, which was the safest place. In all the commotion, everyone forgot about Ralph. Ralph had to think fast. He picked up a big basket of eggs and threw them out of the window. When the attacking foxes came running, they slipped and slid and skidded and toppled and crashed into each other in the gooey mess of broken eggs. The foxes were not ready for this. Badly bruised and covered with slimy egg whites, they looked up and saw Ralph laughing in the attic window. They whispered among themselves and then disappeared into the bushes. Soon, 3 foxes returned with a long, long ladder. They started to climb up to the attic window, but Ralph was prepared. He had lined up all the pails of Easter egg dye and one by one dumped them all over the foxes. First yellow, then blue, then violet, and finally a big pail of bright red dye. Isn't that scary, Mr. Penguin? This was too much for the foxes. Grumbling, they slunk back into the bushes. "Victory!" cried Ralph, and he kicked his soccer ball across the room. But in the next moment, Ralph heard and felt heavy thumps. Everything in the room started shaking. Now what was happening? The foxes were back, and they were still trying to get in. Thump, thump, thump. "We're coming through to have a bunny barbecue." Ralph knew that now he needed some help. He thought of Brutus the bull inside the barn, but the barn was so far away. There was just one chance, he thought. Ralph placed his soccer ball on the windowsill. This would be the most important kick he had ever made. Ralph gave it all he had. The ball arched and soared and disappeared into the open window of the barn. "Ha ha ha! You missed us," laughed the foxes. "I hope you're not all too scared." "And how about you?" "Oh, good. You're all very brave." And they gave the door another big thump. Inside the barn, the animals were enjoying their afternoon snooze when the ball sailed through the window. It bounced off the roofer's tail. "Yike-doodle-doo!" he cried as the ball headed for the hen. "Squawk!" cried the startled hen, who accidentally laid an egg. "I know." Which dropped on the pig and made her little piglets squeal with laughter. They giggled so hard that they knocked over the milk can. Milk splashed all over the billy goat. Shaking and trying to kick himself dry, the goat woke up the sheep and scared them so much they fell against the ladder, which toppled over and knocked over the bales of hay, which fell on Brutus the bull. Brutus had a terrible temper, and he didn't like his nap being interrupted. No one likes to be woken up during the middle of the nap, do they? He broke through the pen and crashed out of the barn door. He was so mad that nothing could have stopped him. There was only one thing Brutus hated more than being disturbed when he was napping: the colour red. And that was precisely what he saw when he stormed out into the yard. 3 fire-engine red foxes! Brutus galloped after them and made them howl and run for their lives. Ralph knew that now the foxes were gone for good. "Attaboy, Brutus!" he called from the window. "We did it!" The danger was over. I feel so much better, don't you, Mr. Penguin? The rabbits climbed out of the cellar. When they found out what Ralph had done, they gave him a big cheer. Then the happy rabbits celebrated not only Lisa's birthday, but their good fortune. Lisa told everyone, Ralph must be the greatest soccer player in the world. No one else could have made a kick like that. And everyone had a piece of birthday cake, and they all played a great game of soccer. Wow, wasn't that an amazing story, Mr. Penguin? I hope you all had lots of fun with us today. We all had fun reading this story with you. Why don't you join us tomorrow, where me and Mr. Penguin will be reading Where's Wally? But it won't take very long, because everyone will be tucked up in their houses. Goodbye! Say bye, Mr. Penguin. Bye! Oh. Mr. Penguin's so tired of story time. Tasty bunnies, hop, 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 are delicious. This song was so cute.
Okay, take 2. Okay, come on.
Sorry. This is rats. Bad.
Oh dear. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
You're very good. In fact, you're a little bit too good.
The things I do for the sparkles.
I know. Because we're worth it.
It doesn't not go in, the specific... She
The
knows what I'm
blooper.
talking about, children.
The blooper
I will
is going
expose a specific blooper if it does not go in the video.
Oh no, not that blooper's not going in.
That blooper is going in.
No!
It is.
No, it's
I
not.
know the password to your phone.
No!
It's going in.
I'm changing it.
I'll find out. I always see. I'm gonna be there in night time. Pin your eyes open with little skewers. Face ID it. It better go in. I know what the blooper is.
Nope.
You made me do that. The blooper has to go in.
Bye.